Hello, Homestead. Please stand for the pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. And now for a moment of silence.
From Homestead Media, this is HHS In Depth.
Today is Friday, September 1st, and we're back on HHS In Depth. Here is a quick overview of today's show. We'll start by introducing you to Homestead's new Assistant Athletic Director, Mrs. Toish. Next, Justin Estrada will show us some of the new classrooms and spaces that are already being used. Then you'll hear about Homestead's booth at the Fort Wayne Festival of the Arts last Saturday. Later, Carly Swemler will tell you about what it really means to be a Spartan. You'll also hear about next week's homecoming week, and we'll bring you a new edition of Down to the Wire, where Mara Nicholson will recap the Homestead sports action from this past week. Stay tuned, you'll see all of this and more today on HHS In Depth. Hello, and thank you for joining us today. This is HHS In Depth. I'm Graham DeWitt.
And I'm Jaron Ellis. And Graham, the weather this week was absolutely perfect compared to last week's miserable heat.
For sure. It was really nice these past couple of days to be able to go outside and not feel like I'm literally melting. And I'm hoping that this trend will continue now that we are in September. Let's bring in our weather reporter, Grace Dickmeyer. And Grace, can you tell us if we are going to see more of what we had this past week?
Of course, Graham. As we head into Labor Day weekend, the temperatures are rising, and next week is even hotter, so a pool day may be needed. I'll be back later on with our weekend weather report. Back to you guys in the studio.
We appreciate the weather report, Grace. It's clear that summer still has plenty of life left in it.
If you have any outdoor activities this weekend, make sure to be prepared.
Hopefully it won't remain this hot for too long. Grace will be back to give us a full week update a little later on.
HHS In Depth, national news.
And now, let's shift our focus from the weather to the nation's headlines. In recent national news, Hurricane Idalia's rampage along the East Coast continues. The Category 4 storm made landfall on Wednesday, causing widespread destruction and triggering evacuations in coastal areas. Flooding, power outages, and property damage persist due to heavy rains, winds, and storm surges. Emergency teams are tirelessly rescuing residents and aiding communities. If you're in the storm's path, follow evacuation orders for safety. In other news, we mourn the loss of the TV icon Bob Barker. The legendary The Price is Right host passed away at 99 years old last Saturday. Barker's charm, catchphrases, and 35-year tenure captivated audiences. His advocacy for animal rights and public service left a lasting impact. Tributes across the globe celebrated his entertainment, contributions, and dedication to causes.
Thank you, Jaron, for the national news update. Now, back to the news of Homestead. Last school year, we got a new athletic director in Mr. Irwin. This year, Homestead has a new assistant athletic director. HHS In Depth reporter Matthew Otten is in now to introduce you to Mrs. Toish.
A new member has arrived at the athletic department at Homestead as the assistant athletic director. Mrs. Toish is in her first year working at Homestead as she spent the past years working at different schools.
As the assistant athletic director, some of my duties and responsibilities first is to assist Mr. Irwin. So I'll help with all the scheduling. I have specific sports that I schedule and take care of the officials and the transportation, just like he does. We kind of split the sports. We will both share the responsibility of supervising events in the evenings. But one of the extra things that I'm doing is I'm helping Mr. Worth with kind of creating that atmosphere of school spirit again at the contests that we organize everything for. So I'm pretty excited about that. That's fun for me.
Mrs. Toish is in her 30th year of education, and she would always look up to Homestead because of their expectation of excellence.
For 28 years, I spent my time at Huntington North. But 2 years ago, I chose to walk away from that and try some different things in education again. And so I went back to the math classroom. I did teach math for 18 years prior. High school is much more my speed, so I'm excited to be back in high school athletics.
If you happen to see Mrs. Toyce in the hallway, please welcome her to Homestead as she starts her first year at Homestead as the Assistant Athletic Director. Reporting for HHS In Depth, I'm Matthew Otten.
Thank you for the story, Matthew. Stick around. We'll be right back.
Behind me, you can see some of the new Homestead classrooms. Well, what teachers have actually moved down here? I'll be back later to let you know.
Tonight, the Spartans travel to Wayne High School to face the Generals in an SAC matchup. Kickoff begins at 7 p.m. only on the .91 FM.
Welcome back to HHS In Depth.
Welcome back. Homestead Spartan Alliance invites you to kick off their competition season with a food truck pep rally, which will take place on Saturday, September 9th from noon to 2 p.m. Enjoy lunch with the band, eat some great food, and cheer them on.
You ever get to school and realize you forgot breakfast? Well, you're in luck. Starting next Tuesday, September 5th, SCCLA will be opening their coffee bar. They'll be serving coffee, chai tea, bottled water, chocolate milk, Pop-Tarts, muffins, and more. The coffee bar is located outside the cafeteria each morning from 7:15 to 7:35 a.m.
Class of 2024. There are several scholarships with upcoming deadlines listed on the HHS scholarships page, including the Lilly Endowment Community Foundation Scholarship, the PEO Star Scholarship, and the IU Wells Scholarship. Please note that the Lilly and the PEO scholarships are both due today. I'm sure by now you know we're having our first 3-day weekend of the year. That is because Labor Day is on Monday.
And Graham, why do we even celebrate Labor Day?
I'm glad you asked, Jaron. Taylor Ham joins us now to tell us about the significance of the holiday.
Thanks, Graham. Many students here at Homestead think of Labor Day as just a free day to sleep in, but it is much more than that. Labor Day holiday falls on the first Monday of September every year to honor and recognize the American labor movement and to celebrate social economic achievements of American workers. The labor movement was fought for by American workers in want of better wages, reasonable hours, and safer work conditions, which resulted in what we know today as Labor Day. So make sure you relax and enjoy your Monday off, Spartans.
Thank you for the information, Taylor. Although most of the new areas in Homestead are still under construction, some spaces have been finished and are already in use.
To show you some of the new rooms and how teachers feel about them, here's HHS In Depth reporter Justin Estrada.
As more and more classrooms are opening up at Homestead, many Homestead teachers are relocating to their new area. Many of these classrooms offer advantages to their new classroom, especially for the performing arts.
I love the space. I love the high ceilings that we have here. I also love that we have a bird's eye view. And for people who don't know what that is, our judges sit up high when they critique us and judge us at competitions. So now I can go up at the bird's eye view and I can see the dancers from above so I can watch their formation.
As many teachers move into their new area, they experience new challenges along the way.
Well, we had a lot of stuff that we had to move. A lot of trophies, a lot of music, a lot of pianos. It wasn't too big of a struggle. I would say it was just a matter of having enough hands to be able to move everything.
It's new procedures, new expectations as far as getting class on time, and to change. The other thing is we don't have a locker room yet. So the dancers have to change for class every day. So that's been a struggle because bathrooms are pretty far away from the classroom right now.
Both old and new classrooms have their ups and downs, but be on the lookout for new classrooms as the year progresses. Reporting for HHS In Depth, I'm Justin Estrada.
Thanks, Justin. With Monday off, that will change up the club schedule for next week. So let's take a look at those meeting over the next week right now. K-Pop Club's call-out meeting is today after school in room 924 until 3:30 p.m. The Gay Straight Alliance is back and meeting every Tuesday after school in Mr. Hill's room 600A, also known as the old HHS In Depth studio. Yearbook Club will meet next Tuesday in room 618 at 2:45 p.m. Students for Life meets Tuesdays until 3:15 in Mr. Tucky's room 503. Audio aficionados will meet after school next Tuesday in room LM 1015 next to the Gray Box. They'll be listening to The Killer's Hot Fuss album.
More clubs meeting over the next week. Creative Writing Club meets every Wednesday after school in room 932 until 3:45. Philosophy Club will meet next Wednesday in room 614 after school. SAD will meet on Wednesday at 2:40 in room 714. Anime Club will meet after school on Thursday, September 7th in room 924 until 3:30 p.m. The first ever meeting for Equestrian Club will be on Thursday, September 7th at 2:40 in room 614. The call-out meeting for Homestead's Young Progressives is after school next Friday, September 8th, in room 932 until 3:30 p.m. And finally, Psychology Club will meet on Friday, September 8th at 2:40 in room 714. For more information on the clubs, check out the daily announcement sheet on Canvas. Stick around, we'll be right back.
Spartan teams went head-to-head last week with some tough competition. Coming up later in the show, I'll bring you all things Spartan athletics and down to the wire.
Homecoming week is here once again, and here are our 2023 themes. Monday, wear your comfiest PJs. Tuesday, dress like a tourist. Wednesday, show out and wear your favorite college apparel. Thursday, find your best friend and dress up for Duo Day. Friday, show your Spartan pride and wear our school colors. This year, we are bringing back raffles as an add-on to Homecoming week. Gift cards will be the prizes if you choose to participate in the dress days. The Homecoming Pep Session will take place Friday, September 8th. Survival of the Spartans is Wednesday, September 6th from 6 to 7:30 p.m. on the grass field between the football stadium and the band turf. So show out and cheer.
Welcome back to HHS In Depth.
We're back on HHS In Depth. And Graham, I thought as we hit the months of September, those hot summer days were going to be a thing of the past.
We know it's supposed to get hot, but how hot are we talking? Weather reporter Grace Dickmeyer is in the studio and ready to fill you in on what next week's weather has to offer.
Thanks, Graham. Heading into Labor Day weekend, the temperature rises and hot weather is expected. You can expect sunny skies and high 70s after school and into the football game at Wayne tonight. Saturday will be a little warmer with a high of 86 and the night being in the low 60s. Sunday, the temperature rises with mostly sunny skies and a high of 88. Sunday night will be high 60s and fireworks are permitted, so this would be a great night for them. Labor Day will be one of the hottest days of the week, reaching 92 degrees and into the night high 60s again. The next week, heading into September, the weather for the week will be a heat wave. Tuesday and Wednesday will both be in the low 90s and high 60s at night, but Tuesday will be sunny and Wednesday will be partly cloudy. Thursday will also be partly cloudy with a high of 89 and a low of 64. No rain forecasted for the weekend and next week, so enjoy this hot weather and have a great Labor Day weekend, Spartans. Back to you, Jaron and Graham.
Thank you for the report, Grace. If you're going to be outside for an extended period of time this weekend, make sure to wear sunscreen and drink plenty of water. Well, we all know Homestead's mascot, the Spartan, but what does it actually represent for our students? HHS In-Depth reporter Carly Swemler is in now to tell us that answer.
From the honor code to our favorite mascot during school events, the Spartan makes an appearance in our everyday lives. But what actually is a Spartan, and what does it mean to be one? Who better to ask than some of our past and present students?
To me, being a Spartan is all about the excellence and all about striving to be better and being prepared for what's next.
The Spartan represents like perseverance and individuality, having self-discipline to kind of keep your head down and just be able to do the things that you actually want to do.
Back in the 5th century, the Spartan was the best and most feared soldier of Greece. As the world has modernized, the Spartan has now gained popularity as a mascot. But does the Spartan truly hold any relevance in a day-to-day life?
So to me, being a Spartan and Sparty represents values that really instill in me every day, and I try to instill in my kids too, and the kids I work with here at school. The education I got at Homestead prepared me better than maybe some of my peers from the area schools.
To me, I think Sparty does a good job of representing our school and the people within it, because Spartans are associated with strength and kind of having the power to overcome challenges, and I feel like a lot of our activities and our media group, extracurriculars are really doing a good job of overcoming all types of issues and all types of things that they've been coming into contact with.
Hopefully, you've gained a better understanding on what it means to be a Spartan and the background behind it. As you see your fellow classmates in the halls, remind them to keep up their Spartan spirit. Reporting for HHS In Depth, I'm Carly Swimiller.
All right, thank you, Carly. Well, last Saturday, Fort Wayne had its annual Festival of the Arts downtown. But did you know that every year, Homestead sets up its own booth at the festival? Here to tell us more is HHS In-Depth reporter Emily Adams.
Continuing its tradition, Homestead remains an integral part of community promotion. Last week, Homestead participated in the Taste of the Arts Festival held in downtown Fort Wayne.
Taste of the Arts Festival is an annual event held here in Fort Wayne that brings in people from all over the state and outside of the country. There are art days, craft days, there is live music of all genres.
The Taste of the Arts Festival is about spreading creativity. It's, getting the arts out there. So there's a lot of dancing, there's food, and then there's creativity activities.
Focusing on engineering, HHS volunteers led the children through a building activity.
This year, our student volunteers are doing an engineering booth. So young people come up to the booth and Homestead students help them construct buildings made out of toothpicks and gumdrops. Right now, we're running a little low on gumdrops because some of the students are eating their projects.
Mrs. Summers and Payton both echoed the importance of getting involved in the community.
It's important for high schoolers to get out into the community, to build up your community, and then to build up yourself as well. It's a great thing to build up your character, to help out.
I think it's really important for the community to get to see how much Homestead helped prepare young people to be active members of the community. And this particular festival, with its emphasis on the arts and sciences, Homestead has amazing programs in both of those areas. So I think it's a great opportunity for those students with those kinds of interests to participate at the community level.
Overall, both the students working and the kids learning had an amazing experience, one gumdrop at a time. Make sure to catch this festival next year. Reporting for HHS In Depth, I'm Emily Adams.
All right, thank you, Emily. And now it's time for another edition of Down to the Wire. This week, Mara Nicholson is in to get a look at the week it was for Homestead Athletics.
Welcome to Down to the Wire. I'm Mara Nicholson, and as the fourth week of school comes to a close, all of our students are exhausted and ready for the 3-day weekend. None more exhausted than our athletes, as soccer, tennis, cross country, and more completely dominated the competition this past week. It was an exceptional day for the Homestead soccer teams at the Carroll Classic this past Saturday, as the boys varsity team beat Bishop Luers 1-0, with the only goal in the match being the winning goal credited to Will Offit. In their competition against Northside, they also reigned victorious 5-0 with goals from Grady Wilkins, Amar Muslick, Mile Kraft, and 2 goals from Mac Muslick. And the boys also competed against Concordia this past Tuesday, but refused to let them win, therefore resulting in a 0-0 tie. The girls' varsity team shared the same winning streak at Mount Vernon, Fortville, where they won 4-2. Both boys and girls cross-country teams competed at Taylor University's Invitational last Saturday. The boys had a solid run, winning 3rd place out of 15 teams to compete. They achieved 31 career personal records, plus 9 season personal records, resulting in 40 personal records by 22 members. But the girls had an even better time at the Invitational, winning overall team champions out of 15 schools at the very competitive Invitational. Amazing results were Catherine Perego in 4th, Lucy Kramer in 5th, and Lauren Saddington in 6th against very competitive teams in a challenging race. Our Homestead golf team competed at the Hall of Fame Classic on Saturday and came out as the champions, winning an overall 298. Cassini got 85, Knoll had 78, Saul got 75, Ayers had 73, and Sank had a 72. This past Monday, the Homestead boys tennis team, which is ranked 4th in the state, had an outstanding match against Goshen, who is ranked 22nd in the state, at the Homestead courts. They emerged as the victor, overall winning 3-2. Number 1 singles was Stephen Meyer, number 2 singles was Ben Gurian, and number 1 doubles was Alex Graber and Eric G. This brings their record up to an impressive 5-1, keeping their amazing rank in the state in the top 5. Tuesday night, Homestead's volleyball team destroyed Snyder 3-0, with their first game score being 25-17, their second was 25-10, and their third was 25-23. Hannah Brown had 4 aces, Kate Jackway had 14 assists, Madeline Sipe had 11 digs, and Addie Tyndall not only had 3 blocks, but also 11 kills. Congrats to all of the superb sports competitions this past week. That's all for Down to the Wire. Thanks for watching. Back to you, Graham and Jaron.
All right, thank you, Mara. This has been HHS In Depth. Make sure to check our socials for updates on the HHS In Depth team and our upcoming projects.
In honor of the passing of the legendary game show host Bob Barker, help control the pet population. Have your pet spayed or neutered. Goodbye, everyone.
Have a splendid 3-day week in Homestead, and we'll see you back here next week.